Right, so this is part 2 of our 2025 driver rankings, basically because we waffled for so long while we were making this. So enjoy all our drivers from number 14 up to number 1. Who could it be?
Moving on.
Right, our P14s. I have gone Antonelli, the lowest Antonelli so far. Dan has gone Gasly, a Hulkenberg for Pulse, a Bortoleto for Duck, and a Gasly for James. I think I should start out with my Kimi Antonelli because I've put him the lowest out of anyone. He had a strong end to the season and he had a good couple races at the start of the season. But for me, his European leg was unforgivably bad. And actually, in my first draft, he was lower and then I bumped him up. I just think like he was so poor in Europe.
I think he redeemed himself.
Yeah, he redeemed himself, but you have to look at the whole season, and like when a good half of the season was like tragically bad, like you can't.
There were a few races in there that were DNFs, not of his own doing. But I know what you mean. Like they also then came amongst a few DNFs what definitely were his doing. Yeah. So
and there was a stretch when he was crashing more than anyone in the sport. Picked up the Taliban Antonelli nickname not for no reason. Yeah. So like, you know, I think that summer for Antonelli was inexcusable, and I couldn't put him any higher because of that, because he had like the first quarter and last quarter were good, but then 2 more Gaslys, which means Gasly is actually our overall P14, which I think is kind of fair. We talked about him being like kind of everyone from this point had good highlights and generally good seasons. So we're getting into basically now who has the most highlights really and who has the highest highlights. Gasly obviously did have a quiet year being stuck in Alpine. I would like to come back to Pulse. One driver who certainly had one very memorable highlight this year.
He did.
Nico Hulkenberg.
He did. But how many, like, other than that, how many great performances can you think of for Hulkenberg? Spain,
Canada.
Yeah,
okay,
multiple.
2.
yeah.
Okay, which ones?
He was good in Abu Dhabi, and I want to say,
I think Spain through to the summer break, like where the Stakes Albacar was actually good. As soon as the Stakes Albacar had an upgrade on it, he was pretty decent for like 5-6 races in a row.
For these like 3, I was like, I could change my mind and I could put him a bit higher, but
I mean, we still haven't seen Hamilton on your list, mate.
Hamilton above Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
They're quite literally, you can just compare them on podiums.
Including or not including sprint races.
I mean, I spent most of the last week's podcast fucking slamming Hamilton, and I just realised like I made a mistake here putting him as high as I did. But
number 1.
Number 1 in brackets. Next year is his year. Trust me, boys.
Don't worry, James's number 1 is Nigel Mansell, and he wasn't even on the grid this year.
Yeah, there were 22 drivers on the grid this year.
Yeah. The one of the things with Hulkenberg though is he got a lot of Q1 eliminations, and you know he did make up for it in the races, but like he was out qualified by Bortoleto, I think, as well.
Yeah.
There wasn't. For me, other than like the Silverstone, like as amazing as that was in Spain, yes, he overtook Hamilton on track, and you know those were 2 great races. Me personally, I couldn't remember too many great performances where I thought of Hulkenberg doing a really good job, which is why I put him there. But obviously, I'm wrong by the sounds of it, so that's fine.
No, Hulkenberg sits higher up on our overall list, thankfully.
No, I was about to say, to be fair, I honestly don't think Hulk has too much time left in the sport. Like, he's doing good now.
No, I give him another 2 seasons.
Couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm giving him just next year.
He was already out of the sport once.
Yeah.
Twice. He's been out multiple times.
How long was he at Aston Martin? 3 years? Or he's just
2,
reserved?
I believe. Yeah.
Showing up twice a year, yeah. People kept getting COVID. But he's kind of on borrowed time. Like, he's not going to be around forever. Like, of the drivers in the sport now, you'd expect him to be in the next 5 who leave, let's say, for retirements or being dropped. But it's been a good season. Like, I think Bortoleto also had a good season. Like, yeah, Bortoleto qualified him, but Hulk, I want to say beat him on points over the year, but it was really close between them, actually. Actually, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't close to him because Hulkenberg got 51. No. Yeah, I was wrong. I think they both got the same number of points finishes, maybe. It was like 5 to 6. But obviously, Hulk's included 15 points from P3, so like blew him out the water.
And P5 in Spain, I think it was. So like Hulkenberg had some really high highs when he did get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing we're saying about Ocon not doing in the Haas, which Behrman did do in the Haas, is that was a car that had a couple occasions when it could achieve something, and it's about being there to maximize it on those days. Like, you don't know when those days are going to show up, or you only find out on the Friday. You have to make those weekends count. You can't be like, oh, the car's good this weekend, but I'm having an off weekend. Like, hopefully it'll come back in 7 days' time. Like, you have to be there every weekend in case the car is suddenly good. And that's what he did in the same way that Behrman did in the Haas and some other people did in their cars. Gasly is our overall P14, which I think is kind of fine. Like, he had a quiet season because that Alpine had nothing to show.
Yeah.
So, like, to even get noticed for anything at all is honestly decent for Gasly, and he's not getting, like, flamed out. So I think we can just leave him alone in P14.
Yeah.
And he's just have his fingers crossed for a better car next year. Our P13s, 3 Bortoletos from myself, Dan, and James, a Hamilton from Pulse, which is Hamilton's highest at P13, and a Lawson from Duck, which is Lawson's highest? It is. So I think we've talked about Bortoleto already. Consensus is he had a good year, but at the same time, it's not a great car. You just get kind of lost in that thing.
It's the same as Gasly, basically.
Yeah, and actually everyone from this point up has had a good year. Like, by no means did Bortoleto have a bad year. Like, bottom half is not bad. Duck, you put Lawson the highest out of anyone. What did you see that we didn't see?
Oh my god! Look, man, like,
do you have your eyes closed?
I'm preface this with, I agree with you. I think he had a good season and he was very close to Hadjar.
I mean, you said it. He was close to Hadjar. He got dropped after by Red Bull after 2 races. Was completely down in the dumps. Like, no normal driver would ever recover from like that sort of like mental fatigue from, you know, believing like, okay, maybe I'm just not good enough anymore. I don't have it. I'm just terrible. But he recovered
he bounced
from
back
it.
Well from that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was relatively close to Hadjar. And I would still say that Liam is still not at his full 100%, like mentality wise. I definitely feel like this break, resetting and understanding yourself again, next year, he could be fantastic. Like, absolutely fantastic.
I do think it's hard to judge Lawson in that way because he's the only driver that's not had a full season with a car yet, if you know what I mean. Like, he's always been bounced around.
Yeah.
And then even this year, he only got 2. And as you say, it did take him a little while. Like, I'd argue up until maybe even the summer break, where he didn't really click with that Racing Bulls car. I don't think he scored that many points in the first half of the year. It was post summer break where he scored like really well in Azerbaijan. He scored points again in like Brazil. Like, he did really well in the back end of the season.
Yeah.
And I feel like that momentum will carry him to 26.
Yeah, it goes back to what I said earlier. He ended the season very well. I think if he did what he did at the end, towards the end of the season, throughout the entire season, I'd have had him a lot higher. Which is kind of also why I have got Hamilton higher, is because I was sort of looking more across the whole season. And that middle portion, he was pretty close to Charles at times.
He was.
He literally he illegally won the Chinese sprint race, and then in Miami, but also like the Miami sprint, he was 3rd. Like the portion, Austria, Spain, Silverstone, and somewhere else, like, he was actually pretty close to Leclerc at quite a lot of those events. It's just those last 3 races were so bad that, you know, if I wanted to say, I would have put him a lot lower. Again, maybe if it was another day, I would have put him below the Saubers. But I do think he did have an okay middle portion of the season. It just ended so badly for him. Yeah. I'm
gonna jump in and say, if you put us Like we've already got Hamilton lower down anyway.
Yeah, he's already on the list.
We don't need to dwell on it. Our overall P13 is Bortoleto because 3 of us put him here, which I think is fair. I don't think many people would put him as rookie of the season. Like some other rookies had some really like standout highlights, but he had a really solid first season. As you say, a strong showing qualifying against Hulkenberg, and looks like he's got more to come. He looks like he's just like settling in well. He looks like he has more potential. He doesn't look like he's like plateaued. So hopefully Audi deliver a good car and we get to see a bit more what Bortoleto can do. Our P12s, we've got a Gasly, Hulkenberg, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Albon. Sorry, Albon. For James.
Yeah, I have got Albon then.
He's not got a mustache, Mr. V.
I can barely grow hair.
He's trying to think of an excuse.
I'm looking at the drivers above Albon and I'm like, maybe I could shuffle one of them below him, but I just think Albon was great for like the first 8 races, and then it just kind of disappeared. Like it's like a tale of two halves for Albon. Like his late season, there's like a noticeable
I think he
change.
got very unlucky at times. I think the Williams team
in the same way Sainz did at the start of the season.
Exactly, but I think if you compare Albon to Sainz, and I have put Sainz higher,
well, we can see
I think, you know, Albon, I don't know. I think he just scored all of his points really early on while everyone else was still finding their feet a little bit. And then once everyone started to click into gear, like we've been talking about how Hulkenberg kind of came back into it 9 races into the season, how the rookies took a little while to get into it. Lawson took a little while to get into it. Once everyone else had found their groove, Alex Albon kind of lost his. So I think he just kind of stole the points early whilst they were up for grabs, which you have to do. Like, he's still got to perform very well early on in the season.
That is fair. He definitely had a season of 2 halves. It kind of, in a way, looked like Williams only had one good car and the other one was like a 2021 Williams. And they kind of just like swapped over halfway through the season who gets the good one. Because like Sainz had a terrible start of the season, very unlucky. And Albon had like, you can look in his results, like it just drops off a cliff. He like doesn't score points for like 10 races straight at the end of the season or something crazy like this.
That's what I mean. He started the year with like P5 finishes. Yeah. But if you think about how many drivers swapped teams and how many drivers were new to those teams in the sport, I think he just kind of pounced when the opportunity was there for him. You know, he pounced when everyone was still trying to understand the car that they were now in, and then just kind of fell away. But yeah, maybe it was that as you say, Williams just they could only afford one good car. So
they actually only had one car and the other one is an illusion. Sort of mirrors.
Strategically placed mirrors around.
Yeah, they VFX'd it in.
Well, no, because I'm just going to say, like, I think the reason everyone's put Sainz higher is because when he was doing badly at the start of the season, it wasn't his pace that was bad. He was just getting, like, the unluckiest thing happened to him, or Liam Lawson commit heinous acts against them. So
Liam Lawson.
That is true. No, that is true, though, to be fair. Yeah, like, Albon's unlucky looked more pace-related. It's impossible to tell.
Yeah.
Like, and he did have a couple where the car was retired for technical reasons.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you get halfway through the race and he had, like, no radio one race. Or there'll be other like random issues with the car where he doesn't necessarily retire, but clearly like you can't drive it 100% when you start to like lose features of the car. So Albon was certainly unlucky with those things. But true, Sainz's unlucky was like getting crashed into unlucky, which is probably a worse kind of unlucky. Like there's nothing you can do if the wheel gets ripped off your car, whereas you can still drive without a radio, even if it's harder. So fair enough. Our overall for P12 is actually Nico Hulkenberg, who had some very high highs this season, but at the same time, beaten in qualifying by a rookie teammate, finished ahead on points on a rookie teammate, but
just mid.
I mean, literally in this ranking, right?
Yeah.
Just
well,
mid.
To be fair, if we take away the negative connotations, that
I don't see mid as negative. Mid is middle.
He's mid, middle.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think we should move on. Our P11s, I've gone Hadjar, the lowest Hadjar, I think. 2 Bearmans, a Sainz from Duck, and another Nico Hulkenberg. Doug, Sainz, P11.
Is there an issue?
Yeah.
Quite a few, actually.
Okay, I have spoiler alert. Albon is just above Sainz, and
Okay. Have you just
a
done
numerical
Championship
value.
final standings.
No. In a numerical value, they're the same exact score. It's just I have Albon higher because I felt like when Albon had the good Williams car, he was more consistent in his points results, while Sainz was a bit more sporadic. Yeah, he had 2 podiums, brilliant, right? But
Very.
so that's also half of his points, like, or nearly half of his points from this year. Where Albon, he got like his 70 points like pretty consistently. To me, I value that more. I don't think Sainz was bad, nowhere near at all. I just value Albon's consistency and the good Williams car over Sainz's more higher but sporadic results in the Williams car.
I don't know.
I
though,
personally would say
'cause-
the exact opposite.
yeah,
Really?
I think Sainz was
Okay.
more consistent, personally.
What?
And also, like, you're saying the points wise, but if you think about it, Alex Albon's 3 P5 finishes are the same points as Carlos Sainz's 2 P3 finishes. So it's like,
Correct.
would you rather have 3 P5s and just finish just outside of the podium places, or would you rather have 2 P3s and take home a couple of trophies for the team?
I'd rather
But
unlimited
points matter.
bacon, but no games.
Dan's wandered into the wrong podcast.
Has he
I don't
ever
know.
turned up to the right podcast?
One day I will.
It's just me personally. I value consistency more over high sporadic results. I'd
Oh, no,
rather,
yeah, that's fair.
yeah. But he's not
Yeah.
bad, okay? Don't antagonize me, please.
I think I would just argue still Sainz had a more consistent season because, like I keep saying, it was just bad luck at the start. Like he was always with
Yeah.
there or
I
thereabouts
agree
with
with you,
Albon.
Dan.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
fuck you
I
guys,
think
man. I
Albon's
like
bad
my
luck
opinion.
was less intense bad luck than Sainz's. Sainz had like big bad luck,
Yeah.
whereas Albon's
Hey,
was more like annoying.
I feel like next year will be way more like representative or like more clear,
Yeah, sounds
I
like obliterate
guess.
him next year. Yeah, I agree.
No, like genuinely, like Williams should have 2 good cars next year. I think they'll be very upper midfield, if not lower top end, genuinely. And I feel like next year we could see more of
Also like
like
the same things, and also
No,
where they are
I
now.
think
No,
next
not
year
really.
will be interesting
They'll be
for
like Williams.
Albon. Like I always say, I think next year will be interesting
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Albon because we've seen, and I don't think it'll be a good thing for him, by the way, Doug. What I mean is like when Albon's had a teammate that starts properly pressuring him, he tends to do quite a lot worse. When he moved up to Red Bull, obviously everyone's been awful in the second Red Bull, but he was not good. They raced me so hard. And then he comes back. He had Sargent and Latifi for a teammate, obliterated them, looked amazing. Colapinto came in, actually pushed Albon. All of a sudden, Albon looked awful for that last stint of last year.
Maybe they just
Sainz
gave
came
Colapinto
in.
the one good car.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
To which he
Again,
then
this-
smashed it into the barriers
Yeah,
17
every single
times.
opportunity. But and then this year, like him and Sainz were quite even at the beginning of the year. It's just like we've all said, like Sainz had some pretty bad luck, and now Sainz hasn't had bad luck. All of a sudden, Albon started to look not amazing, and I have a feeling next year is going to go the same way. He's just not going to look too amazing. Although I have still rated him higher than Behrman in my list. Just looking at that.
Well, I was
But
going to say
still.
our overall is actually Oliver Behrman from the way our system works because we've got 2 Behrmans on this level. Dan and Pulse, both of you put Behrman P11, which means he is not the crash happy rookie of the season.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
So what, you want me
Well-
to elaborate? I don't think that's that crazy to say.
No.
Well, we are yet to see. We've still got Hadjar and Antonelli to come up. We yet to see who is the crash happy rookie of the season.
True.
I think, personally, for me, Behrman is. I think Behrman put in some very consistently strong performances, and he really wound up throughout the season. Like Hadjar had a good early season, then it kind of just like mellowed out, I would say.
Mhm.
And I've said about Antonelli. So personally, Behrman is my rookie this season, but we've actually got him third best rookie.
Yeah.
I think it's not incorrect to put him like this kind of area, but I'm just thoroughly disappointed, I guess, is what I'm trying to expect. trying to express.
Yeah, well, I'm actually
I-
pretty impressed because, look, I've got basically all of them right apart from the Stroll and thingy.
Well, Dan is
Colapinto.
crash happy, basically.
I'm winning. I'm winning the
against Stroll.
podcast.
Dan wins the podcast.
Oh,
I
God,
think pretty
once
much-
again.
I can
Every
tell you
week.
there's a couple further up that are different to your picks, Dan. Because
Thankfully.
I remember they're the same as my picks.
Yeah, that's why I said it now, because I knew it was about to get washed as we head into the top 10.
I don't think there's too much to say about Behrman. Like we talked about him. Yeah,
He
fair
was
enough. At this point, guys, knowing what you put but not knowing what everyone else put, who do you think is the crash happy rookie of the year?
Hadjar.
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 Let us see. His name has already come up. Oh, once because I put it. Fair enough. Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say, they've all come up once.
So our P10, we've got a Behrman, an Albon, a Gasly, an Albon, and a Behrman. And the way our system works, because Albon has not been picked, but because Behrman has had his name
Already
shot
gone.
before, Behrman. What am I talking about? Behrman is disqualified because his name has already come out. So because Albon comes up twice, Albon is our P10. Gasly, you've got. Pulse, you've got Gasly this time. My brain is shutting down, guys. I need some help.
We've got over 90
Mr.
minutes.
Pulse, I'll
Mr.
ask
V
you the
can't do it.
question this
Yeah,
time.
please.
Mr. Pulse, are you watching the same Formula One we've been watching?
Right. Yes.
You put Gasly above Behrman, man.
So yeah.
This is actually washed, bro. What?
Didn't Behrman? All right, I'll give you.
I mean-
I'll give you one stat to help you, Pulse. Behrman only got into Q3 6 times.
Well, there we go. And
still scored
Gasly
more
had
points.
the slowest car. Yeah, but Gasly had the slowest car of
He did.
the Alpine was awful. He got Q3, what was it, 11 times. He scored points 7 times in the slowest car. It was a car that was literally made to go backwards in a Grand Prix. And he did do a good job. Next year, when he's got the Mercedes power unit and the car's better, we're going to see a much better Gasly next year. I
agree.
admit 10th was a bit lofty, but he did have a very good year in a shitbox. Well, it wasn't even a shitbox, but the field is so close and the Alpine's so far behind everyone else that it just, he couldn't do much with that car. Like, he couldn't do much more than he did.
I don't hate that P10. I think Gasly had a really good season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like struggling with the such limited tools that he had.
Yeah.
we
I'd maybe
ended
swap
up-
Behrman and
I'll
Gasly,
lie.
but, you know.
You would, and they're the only ones you're gonna swap. Let's see what
giving
else
you-
comes up, Pulse. We might have more reasons
We're
to
giving
roast
you
you. I can't
free
remember
reign
what-
to swap some more now, Pulse.
No,
I'm
they're in the graphic. You can't swap them.
I'm sticking.
That burnt in. We end up with Albon as our P10. Like as we've said before, other than Duck, I think the consensus is that Sainz has been more consistent than Williams, and they both had bad halves of the season, but Albon's was maybe more in his hands. And really, the second half of Albon's year has just been not good, quite frankly. And like he's had such a contrast to Sainz, who in that same time has had 2 podiums. So I think Albon 10 is fair. I guess I put him higher. I think only by 1 or 2 places though. But I think he's been lifted up here because when Albon does well, he does really, really well. In the same way that Sainz does. His low was a bit lower. Our P9s. Oh, I've gone for different animations. Sick.
I'm locked in now.
that was my eyes.
I was getting a bit
Increased.
bored. I'm locked in now.
Now we spent all the Patreon money on the VFX budget for this episode. We've got Hulkenberg, Antonelli from Dan, a Hadjar from Pulse, a Behrman from Duck, and an Antonelli from James, which means overall our P9 is Kimi Antonelli.
I'm still winning.
Dan, Antonelli above Albon?
Yeah. 2 podiums.
Fair
2 podiums, more points. Like he's
Yeah.
18 years,
Need a
18 years
Mercedes.
old, bro. Like I remember being 18 years old. It's to be at that
Last year.
level.
Yeah,
It
try
has to
DNF the,
award you some
The
like
Netherlands Grand Prix at 18. No, but yeah, like he's got a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
And he's had some good moments, to be fair.
It's a future world
What
champion.
really impressed me, and I know you guys, some of you have put it against him, but what really impressed me was that yes, he had a bit of a slump, but I think all of us have probably put George Russell in the top 3. He is racing with a teammate who is a top 3 driver on the grid. He managed to out-qualify him a couple times, and that was after his slump. So he like mentally put so much work in to start performing really well, and that impresses me. And he's a rookie. He's very young. He's got little experience in junior categories. He got skipped a year from F4 to F2, right? So
F3.
you know, I think there has to be props to Kimi Antonelli, and that's why I personally rated him this highly. Obviously, if he had this season again next year, and then it would start to be like, well, okay, now he's can't be doing that every time.
That's fair.
But for a rookie season, absolutely, he was really good.
I think that's a good point you made about his resilience this year. Like, it's nice to see that it didn't get to him too much. Clearly, it seems like Mercedes has got quite a good support structure around him because he's ended the season seemingly pretty jolly. There's definitely moments where you like notice flashes in interviews and it looks like he's under a lot of pressure. But overall, it looks like, you know, he's managed to put the bad races this year behind him and still come out and driven well since then, still been able to like push the car, not be like afraid of crashing it again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see. He gave us that massive kebab short on Instagram. I don't know if you guys have seen.
He also said the weather was good for a duck. He's the best driver ever.
That's for you specifically, Doug.
For me specifically.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Antonelli is our P9, which means he is not the Crash Happy Rookie of the Year. I think no one's too surprised who our Crash Happy Rookie of the Year is. Disappointed, but not surprised. So we move on. Our P8s. I have gone Piastri P8. Then we have...
Whoa.
Then we have Hadjar and Albon and Alonso from Duck, which you can take up with Dan, and a Sainz from James. I guess I'll start. Piastri
Please.
P8. It's kind of hard to say without showing who's above it, but you know, like the drivers who are coming next. And I will say basically everyone above Piastri here has had very good seasons.
Yeah.
And while Piastri had a good season, obviously was leading the championship for the majority of it. I think the fall off that he had in the position he was in was too strong. Like it was too inexcusable. Like to be in a position where you're leading the championship and to like crash on the opening lap of a race in Azerbaijan, you kind of got to be more careful than that. Like once you're in the lead, you got to preserve the lead. And so I think there's some moments like that for me that mean I can't put Piastri above some of the people above, even though like when he had good races, he had very good races, obviously in the quickest car on the grid. But I think his slump was too slumpy for me. Just too slumpy. I want to hear from you, James. Carlos Sainz in 8th.
I made a mistake. No, when I was copying...
Well, Doc put Sainz 11th, to be fair.
Oh, yeah,
That's
fair.
extremely
I didn't
fair.
make that big of a mistake. I took my ratings from my ratings video, and I've realized that all of the B category should actually be flipped the other way up. So Carlos Sainz is
Sainz
actually
is
higher
P1.
for me. No. Carlos Sainz is P6 for me.
That's too high.
That's fair
Everyone
enough. I think the final
unsubscribe
one,
from him.
Duck and Dan, we notice it says ALO under your name, Doc.
Hello.
8th best.
That is generous, in my opinion, man.
Fuck off! Have you actually even watched this year? Like, genuinely, what do you do? What do you do? Do you put drunk goggles on and watch the fucking race, mate?
I am joking, man.
Yeah, me too, obviously.
No, yeah, of course. I don't think it's crazy. I mean, he did good. He did good.
To be fair, you've put him higher than where he actually finished, so can I complain?
We all put him higher than where
Yeah,
he
exactly.
actually finished.
So-
He did good.
And again, every driver above this has had a really good season.
Yeah,
we're into like the
just-
elite level now.
The
to be
quality
fair.
this year has been very high.
I
Yeah.
genuinely was joking.
Yeah.
Like, I have no qualms with Alonso being 8th for most people because most people
Yeah.
don't sit and stare at his races like I do. So they don't see how actually he was really, really good this year. But it's fine.
Just one thing I will say is I definitely think this was his worst year at Aston. Not to say it was bad, but I
Yeah.
would say it was his worst. Because
Well,
especially
yeah,
in
the
the beginning of the
Astons
year,
Fell off.
genuinely, he did make some mistakes or be in positions where he maybe shouldn't have been. He did get himself back up, and then he was great for everything else.
I think he
Just-
made one mistake and had a lot of engine problems.
yeah, but he
Engine
still
problems
did.
in that he just couldn't be bothered, so pulled into the pits.
No, there were definitely engine problems because he was pulling over on the side of the road.
Start
yes.
a fight, James.
No, but he did. He like he did great.
Yeah.
I think I gave him like an 8 or 7.5. Like numerical score. I mean,
Solid
So,
score out of
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
assuming.
good.
Out of
no,
100.
out of 37. Why not? Yeah, out of 10.
Okay. So I don't know if anyone can figure out from the way that
Hadjar.
our system works. Yeah, we've got 5 different names. Hadjar's name is shown up twice. I mean, Albon's already out. But Hadjar is our P8, which also means he is the Crash Happy Rookie of the Year, which is absolutely fair enough. Got a podium.
Hadjar is my P8 as well. So that does make sense. That's all good.
Can't wait for this time next year where we're on
My
the
slight
podcast talking
mishap
about
is not-
did
Yeah,
Hadjar
if
get
you-
fired too early? Did Hadjar deserve another chance at Red Bull? Oh no.
At least it's a whole new car, so maybe the curse has gone with the ground effect regulations. Probably not.
And
It still
Horner
might
is
just
gone.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still winning the podcast.
It's actually spooky how accurate you've been, Dan. To
Very
be
good.
fair,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just
So everyone-
wasted his list.
I'm not
Dude,
gonna
if
lie.
you
You
just
guys
hate
like always
Stroll
flame
less.
me for having the most. You flame me for having the most wild takes, but like by the looks of this, I am the most
Flame Pulse
middle of
having
us
the most
all.
wild takes.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
One
Actually.
of these lists is not like the others.
Yeah, Dan, you definitely win in the episode. Okay, our P7s. I've gone Leclerc P7. We then have Sainz from Dan, Alonso from Pulse, Antonelli from Duck, and another Alonso from James, which does mean our overall P7 is Fernando Alonso. She shows up twice.
But is it not Science though? Because he got lower.
No, because Alonso shows up more on this level.
But Science got lower, so surely that should
Don't
weight
care,
it.
mate. Alonso shows up more on this level. That's how it
No,
works.
but hang on. Surely, if you have a Science at 11, you should weight it more.
nah.
There's no waiting. Alonso
no
just shows
waiting,
up
mate.
twice on this row.
Okay.
Also,
well,
Alonso
sure.
should be
I never
higher
said it
on
was a
mine.
good system. It's just the system we're using.
Right. Fine.
Like
So
the
this is what we're
Drivers'
in.
Championship
We've been
points.
bribed. We can't criticize.
I have rigged it so Science is P1, and I will not be taking any questions. I've got nothing to say. I think it's kind of fair enough. Like as I said, like everyone at this point has had a very good season. It can be kind of splitting hairs. I think obviously the top maybe 1 or 2 are quite distinct, but this kind of like 3 to 8 range are all drivers who've just done exceptionally well. You'd rate them, I'm assuming, like a 8 to 9 out of 10 if you're doing such a thing, Duck. So I don't think there's too much to say about Alonso here. I think we can kind of like start to go through this a bit faster. In our 6th, I'm consistently putting everyone the lowest. It seems like I'm the first person to put Norris down in P6, 2 Piastris, 2 Hadjars. Hadjar's already gone, which means Piastri is our overall P6 on the year. I did put the Drivers' Champion 6th best. He beat his teammate. I don't think he had a fantastic season, all things considered. Definitely not compared to the 5 people ahead. So
think
Been
that-
harsh.
Yeah, I just think the McLaren drivers, a lot of their issues were the McLaren team
Yeah.
more so than themselves a lot of the time.
I agree. I agree with that, but I think both of them also had some personal mistakes.
Yeah.
I think Norris had some times when he was behind Piastri and then was just complaining about the fact that he was behind Piastri on the radio in interviews, just like not quite just like go and do it.
I mean, Oscar's done the same.
Ultimately, though, they should have put Max
Yeah.
Verstappen out of the championship earlier than they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And also what I will say is when if the team's like not telling you things fine. But if the team's giving you weird strategies and they're trying to do strange strategies because they're trying to keep the two cars even, you can just ignore them. You can just not do that and just drive a different race to what they're telling you, which other drivers have done in the past to great success. So, like, in a way, I have to dock both Norris and Piastri points for going along with McLaren's nonsense.
Yeah.
And not just being like, no, like, stop it. I'm just going to drive this car fast. Like, shut up.
But if you don't
Obviously,
listen
like, that's
to
not a long-term strategy.
If you don't listen to the team orders, then you don't get to do the tickle fight with Zach Brown at the end of the year. And everyone wants to do that. Everyone wants to do it. It's the highlight of their year at McLaren. The famous tickle fight.
They were getting that big lake outside the design center. They do the Zach Brown wet t-shirt contest. Which can't fight. Zach Brown is the only contestant.
He always
and
wins.
then they have the tickle fight. Yeah. Piastri is our overall P6, which I think is fair. Like, for so much of the year, he was in such a strong position to finish it, and he just didn't close out, just kind of let it slip away. And I think lots of that is on Piastri, stuff like Azerbaijan, stuff like having a few races and he was just kind of nowhere to be seen in the second half of the season. So yes, our P5s, I've got an Albon, which in hindsight is too high. Having looked at his stats for the second half of the season, I would probably shift him down to about P8. We've got Leclerc from Dan. We've got Sainz from Pulse. We've got another Piastri and another Leclerc, which does mean Leclerc is our overall P5. And I wasn't joking when I said I rigged it for Sainz to win.
Oh my days. Oh my days. No. Okay, this is actually wrong, bro. We cannot have Sainz this high.
Yeah.
But you can, and we do.
You need to swap so put Alonso.
You need to swap Alonso and whoever is in
Get
rid of Alonso, put Sainz there, move Piastri and Leclerc up, then put Alonso,
Right.
and then that's the right order then.
Yeah, I will say the system is weird, but this is the system we got.
system is.
It's what we're going with. I think Leclerc P5 is not wrong by any, like, that's really good to be top 5. I think it's fantastic. He, if anything, would you agree, Leclerc should have maybe beaten Hamilton more with how much Hamilton looked like he was struggling?
No.
He already beat him once. Why put the man in the grave further? Like,
Okay, yeah, that's maybe too harsh.
I think Leclerc consistently did whatever the Ferrari team gave him, and then couldn't do any more. There was so many weekends where his interview was literally just, I think I did the best I could. That's it.
I mean, Leclerc was on for a win in Hungary until Ferrari'd him. So
very true.
Such as Ferrari. Our P4s. I've got Alonso P4, which is not the highest Alonso, as you'll see, surprisingly. Dan's put him even higher.
No way.
Got 2 Norrises, a Leclerc, and another Norris from James. So kind of consensus P4 is Lando Norris. I think, again, like, obviously our world champion, but maybe didn't have the strongest ever championship season we've seen. A good season, don't get me wrong, but not flawless, not like a domination Max Verstappen thing that we're used to seeing. I'm trying to see, I guess, Duck, you're the only person who's put Norris higher than P4.
I have him P3.
Okay,
So
fair
it's
enough.
not much higher. Spoiler alert.
Do you think if we maybe put like Leclerc in the second McLaren that Norris would have beaten him?
No, what the fuck? No,
Well, you
absolutely
put Norris
not.
above Leclerc.
Wait. Say the question again.
If McLaren driver pairing was Norris and Leclerc,
Right,
who would have won the championship?
Leclerc.
So why is
100
Norris above
billion
Leclerc?
Because, bro,
That's not how this
I don't
works,
think
is it,
about it like
really?
this.
It's a little bit of a loaded question.
you have to account
Well, I'm
for
just trying
the
to make
car.
conversation. We are on a podcast.
You have to account for the car, though.
No.
Yeah, like I was gonna mention this. It's hard to rate Leclerc this season because, like, how much of fault can he take, and then how much of fault is the team at? Really, like it's hard to judge whether if it was either him not driving fast enough or him being compromised by the team. Yeah, sure, there were races like what was it? Oh, actually no, that was Lewis that crashed on his own in Zandvoort.
Yeah, I was going to say
Did Charles
Leclerc
ever
got
have
wiped out.
Charles had a stinker in Silverstone. That was about it.
Right.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
it. He had one bad race really all year, and that was
Yeah,
Silverstone.
but then all the other ones, like he was genuinely doing the best he could. And
So why didn't you put him higher?
I don't know.
I know
don't
why, Duck. I can explain why. It's because Ferrari were the
overwhelmed.
only team this year in the twilight zone, as I've nicknamed it now, which is
Yeah.
where like you can't quite catch the front runners, but you're still clear of the midfield teams. So
Yeah.
even though Charles Leclerc was quite consistent, and even though sometimes he outperformed that car when others were making mistakes, Norris and Piastri, he still kind of never did anything like massively impressive, if that makes sense. It was just
Yeah.
kind of he did exactly where that car could be, and no more and no less, which means he was very good, but also there wasn't much pressure on him to do like crazy good.
Yeah, I agree
Would you-
because
Would you say as well, part
Charles,
of it
like,
comes from the fact that we just don't see them that much because they're in that zone.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just don't show up on TV that much, so we don't get an idea of how his driving is this year, honestly.
They only showed up on TV when Lewis Hamilton was down doing something stupid in 15th.
but
Nah,
I mean,
you're not
with
right, though.
Leclerc,
Like, Ferrari was so weirdly positioned this year. Like, I know that they kind of ended up fairly close to Red Bull and Mercedes in terms of the constructors, but Red Bull and Mercedes, for large portions of the season, Red Bull arguably all of the season, only had one driver. And that's like, you know, when you've got two drivers compared to one driver and they still can't get enough points to get them above them in the Constructors' Championship, kind of tells its own story for
Well,
where
actually,
the car
first
was.
part of the season, Red Bull had one driver. Middle part of the season, Mercedes had one driver. And end of the season, Ferrari had one driver. So they all had periods of having one driver, if you think about it.
Yeah, but Lewis Hamilton could have probably done something about that.
That's a Lewis Hamilton
That's
thing.
what I'm
That's not on
saying. Red Bull
Charles
definitely
Leclerc.
had
It's not
one driver for the
Leclerc's
whole
fault.
season.
Hamilton couldn't be asked anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was on Leclerc. What?
But like, it's been used against him.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's why, like, that's where the Ferrari was. Like, the Ferrari was so far adrift of actually the top three cars. It's just, it looks a bit closer in terms of the constructors because the Ferrari team at least had two drivers scoring points fairly consistently, at least for the first half of the year. So they were kind of sitting second in the Constructors' Championship, but I don't think they were ever the second fastest car.
No.
And then at the end of the season, they kind of ended up where they should be as the fourth fastest team.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess I have Norris over Leclerc because I feel like Lando, he had his moments, but he also entered like this genuine champion's form for a couple of races where I thought that I just see it better than what Charles was doing. Just straight up, I gotta be real sometimes. Maybe my Ferrari depression is so bad that it leads me to that conclusion, but I like if you were to genuinely hold a gun to my face and tell me who had a better season, Charles or Norris, I would genuinely say Norris.
I think you have to weight it to the world champion a bit. Like, you can say hypothetically in the same car who would win the championship, but then you've got the guy who actually won the world championship.
Yeah.
And that has to be some kind of props, which is why
yeah,
he's
like Charles is not
best.
this. Yeah, Charles is not like this mistake-free driver. Like, no, the guy makes plenty of mistakes himself. Just, yeah, it's exactly like you say.
To be fair, I was playing devil's advocate a bit. Like, I also put Norris above Leclerc, and it's fair to say, like, Norris, he did win the world championship, and he did have some exceptional races where he was basically just flawless to keep it ahead of Max Verstappen. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know.
Could
I
have
don't know
won
what
the
I'm trying to say.
championship earlier as well, had it not been for a bit of unluckiness in the Netherlands and Vegas, both
Yeah,
of which
true.
That is
you could
very
argue
true.
not
That is
his
very
fault.
true.
You know,
And it makes Norris's championship look less impressive than it was because, yeah, he should have wrapped it up in Qatar, really. Well, really, Piastri should have wrapped it up in, like, Qatar.
Like
he actually should
Singapore.
have wrapped it up in like Azerbaijan, but
Yeah, it kind of screwed that one up.
nah.
So our P3s, because of the weird system, I've gone Sainz because I just think he was very consistent and did things that shouldn't have been possible. Dan's gone Alonso. We then have Leclerc, Norris, and Piastri from James. Piastri above Norris, even though they were teammates and Norris beat Piastri.
Firmly.
I will So the way our system works, because we've already had Norris and Leclerc and Piastri and Alonso, Sainz is our P3. I don't make the rules.
This
I
is
just enforce
fraudulent,
them.
man.
Sainz is our overall P3.
Paid off by the
He had a
Spanish
great
mafia.
season. He had a great two podiums in a Williams. Shouldn't have been possible.
Alonso got higher rankings from more people. And Sainz somehow
And yet
still
he's in
ended up
P7
ahead in
now.
the averages.
Doesn't matter, mate.
And he's in P7. That's just how the cookie crumbles, isn't it?
What?
But you know,
Where's Alonso?
Look, me and Mr. V had Alonso
the driver's
third and
standings is
fourth.
P10.
So if you look, James,
true.
Alonso's third and fourth, but Sainz has like an 11th, a 7th, whereas Alonso has 2 7ths. So if you average out the scores, Alonso scored higher amongst all of us, but somehow Sainz is the third best crash-happy driver.
Hey,
you got to drive to the point system. It's Keke Rosberg 1982 all over again. But that's just how it works. That's
my
just how it
days.
works.
someone's got to come up with a point system, Dan. It doesn't work for everyone.
I see point systems in 4-dimensional ways that don't make sense to the average person or me, but that's just how it works.
Now I actually am grateful we have MBS.
I wouldn't be like physically harassing anyone. I'd just be doing stuff that nobody understands. But at least it would be funny as hell.
So Carlos Sainz actually gets awarded 25 points for a P15 because it has a 1 in the
bonus
number.
round. Ding.
And it's coincidentally where Sainz finishes.
The one thing I wanted to touch on, James, Piastri above Norris.
Yes. I think
I think you're the only
Piastri
person to do so.
I think there's a lot of things, like if you talk to everybody before the season started, they'd have had Norris ahead of Piastri winning the World Championship, etc., etc. I think the fact that Piastri actually was leading the championship for so long, I think the pressure eventually got to him. It's only his 3rd season in Formula One.
Yeah.
Like we kind of forget again, like he
And
hasn't
it's
had
Norris's 7th.
that long. I just think he had a really good year. Okay, it fell off a cliff a little bit for sort of 5 races when it really mattered, which is kind of the disappointing thing. But actually, apart from those 5 races, he was maybe the best driver on the grid for the majority.
The best driver on the grid.
Maybe not the best. Maybe the 3rd
Like, I'll
best
give you
driver on the grid, which is where I put him.
Okay, yeah, that's fair
But
enough.
like leading the championship, he didn't lead the championship. He had to work his way up to the top. Only took the lead of the championship in Saudi Arabia, held the lead of the championship all the way into Mexico. Again, as 3rd season in Formula One, where his first half a season in Formula One was basically a null and void anyway. So like he's had a lot of ups and downs. I think the pressure just got to him, and that's why a lot of you have put him a little bit lower.
No, I think it's entirely fair. I think like it's not a wrong answer by any stretch. And you could say, if you wanted to be a conspiracy theorist, you could say that he was actively sabotaged by McLaren because they wanted Norris to win. Someone could say that. You could throw that out there. I don't personally believe that.
I mean, he led the championship. He got multiple wins. He got multiple podiums. But he's no Fernando Alonso or Carlos Sainz.
I personally would rate Sainz above Piastri. I would rather have Sainz than Piastri.
I would rate Alonso. That's what I did. Like, but I
thought you were saying that to take the piss.
I was saying it to take the piss because no one else is going to agree with me. But like, that's just because I genuinely do, and
I put
proud of
Alonso
my
4th.
delusion.
Dan's just getting
That's
upset
true.
that he's going to lose the podcast because he started.
I'm actually still winning the podcast.
Yeah,
I've
you are
only
still
got
winning the
4
podcast.
things out of place.
Overall, he's absolutely nailed it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
To be fair, and he's about to get the next 2 right. I can confirm. We can rattle through the next 2 basically.
Yeah.
So everyone has done the exact same thing for 2 and 1. We have all put
It's obvious.
George Russell number 2.
Yeah.
That's no surprise. George Russell, phenomenal, very consistent, had a great year. But he's not quite as phenomenal and as consistent as our number 1, our unanimous number 1,
Nicholas
Max Verstappen. I don't think really anyone is surprised.
Wow.
Max Verstappen obviously finished second in the constructors, second in the drivers' championship, almost second in constructors on his own. To be fair, so didn't take home the title, but again just showed a level of unyielding consistency that we're just not used to seeing out of a human being driving a racing car. And I would say Russell is similar. Russell obviously had a couple times where he like qualified behind Antonelli, but I want to say the race head to head was maybe 24 in Russell's favor or something crazy like this.
That makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
he was absolutely ridiculous. Like,
but he's also like he dragged a lot of podiums, 2 wins out of that Mercedes, which realistically was the 3rd fastest car. Because if we consider the Red Bull at its peak, in Max Verstappen's hands, was faster.
Max fans are gonna like that.
Well, they're not gonna like the fact I was saying that he drove well.
No, yeah. I'm just saying. Like, anytime somebody mentions that the Red Bull car was actually kind of good, like 2nd fastest car, Max fans are just in your mentions being like, it's actually the 6th fastest car. Max is doing so much
8
better.
races. He won a 3rd of the races in the season. It was a good car. It was a good car that he was in.
I hate this notion that he drives faster than the car, as if that's physically possible.
Yeah.
Like, you can only drive to the physical limit of the car. Like, if you did like a TAS speed run in that car, as if it's Trackmania, like, there is only so much you can get out of the car unless he starts nosebugging it around like the Red Bull ring, which would be cool to see. So like, people make it out like Red Bull is the slowest car on the grid, and somehow he's still fighting for a championship, which obviously is not how that works. It's a good car, not necessarily easy to drive, but that's not taken away from the fact that Max Verstappen just had, again, a Max Verstappen season. Absolutely formidable. Almost took it home in a car that definitely should not have been able to take it home. Like, McLaren should have had that in the bag, really, multiple rounds before the end of the season. So yeah, Max Verstappen, congratulations. The most important award of the year. Crash Happy, #1 overall.
Actually, the most important award was me, because I won the podcast. I will say, how many have you got, Dan? I've got all of them, but Sainz and Alonso, wherever I put Stroll and
Colapinto.
Who was it?
Stroll and Colapinto.
Colapinto, yeah, that's it.
So you got 17 out of 21 in the right, which is actually scary. Quite honestly, despite the system. Controversial system.
Despite the system that he hates.
No, I don't hate
It's actually just your ranking, Dan.
And that's the true Dan No Skill we love. He still wins even though he hates the system that he's in.
I'm just Max Verstappen of Crash Happy.
You could even say that he completely disagrees, but actually he agrees.
Lovely.
I think, guys, we've maybe been talking about this top 21 for quite a while at this point, so we should maybe bring this podcast to an end. But in case you had never heard before, we have a Patreon which you can sign up to, and it includes all kinds of exclusive content. We have a weekly exclusive episode. It's not a full podcast. It's normally like half an hour, 45 minutes. We talk about some other stuff about ourselves, about like life on YouTube, sometimes about Formula One. We're going to have some gaming stuff on there. There's pictures of Dan No Skill as a small child. Nothing weird.
Mostly.
I'm severely emotionally damaged by the whole experience, but I have to fund my Bahamas trip somehow, so I guess it's fine.
So if you want to get involved with that, I'm sure there's links down below, or you can just Google Crash Happy Patreon, because that is how search engines work.
Not anymore. AI will tell you something completely different, probably.
Crash Happy with Matt and Tommy.
But yeah, thank you for watching. Let us know down below if you disagree, or if you in fact think the system is perfect, in which case, thank you. See ya.